Hey, this is video number 13, or I guess technically 15 since you had the 2 bonus videos. We are doing what I am calling sugar skull-ish. Sugar skulls, if you're not familiar, are a beautiful tradition where people celebrate their loved ones that have passed on in what's called an ofrenda. They decorate these sugar skulls to represent their loved ones. So I wanted to honor that, but also make something that looked a little bit more realistic. I found some reference images and just kind of went with a design that, you know, just kind of seemed interesting and beautiful, but still sort of kind of honor that tradition. So there's the background on that. This painting is going to be a little bit different than what you've seen me do so far in these tutorials. The skull is going to be kind of similar. We're going to do coloring and then kind of blend in shade. The flowers, however, are going to be blocks of color, and then we're going to come in and outline them a bit, just to kind of make details pop a bit more. It may have that like kind of cartoonish feel to it, but it is definitely going to, you're going to be able to create this beautiful piece fairly easily. So we're going to start off by working on the skull. So the colors for the skull are going to be, you know, various shades of gray and whites. My paint has a bit of a skin on it, so this is what will happen, if you can see this on the camera, if you let your acrylic paint sit too long. I had painted another tutorial a bit earlier in the day and let it sit, and my acrylic got a bit of a skin on it. So I'm going to just add some fresh titanium white or blackout white, whatever white you're using. Another thing to note is I had not planned really to do pink flowers, but I realized that some people might want to paint pink flowers, so I've added a quinacridone magenta here so I can make a pink. You can do it with the cadmium red. It's just more kind of like a warm pink, I guess, like a more orangey pink than a traditional pink. Right, so I'm just mixing a bit of a gray color here, and I'm going to come in and just start filling in my skull a bit here. I'm just trying to be careful where those little floral patterns are. I don't want to cover up all of them. I mean, we'll work through it. You've seen me paint over stuff before and fix it, so just try to be a little careful. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just a little careful here. This one I messed up when I was drawing. I made it too far, so I'm not really going to worry about covering that one up that much. So just filling in anywhere that's just the plain skull. So here is just a little thin line that then comes into the jaw here. And just like with the other tutorials, if you see some spotting or streaking, don't worry about it. We're gonna do some layering. All right. Whoop. All right, so now I'm going to start trying to shade in a bit. So I'm going to make a little bit of a darker gray. And I'm going to come in so where the temples on the head come in. I'm going to come in and try to shade a bit darker there. We can clean up the edges with plain black if we need to at the end. And I'm going to wipe that off and do as I do and kind of blend in. I'm going to do the same thing over here. This is a little narrower because it's broken off. But I'm going to do like that. Okay. Now around where the nose is on either side, I'm going to do the same thing. Bring it down. Maybe a smidge darker. There we go. And kind of come around here. Maybe a few marks in here. Okay, now wipe off, get the lighter color, and blend. Just blending a bit. All right. Okay. Now on the other side, the same thing. Darker around the eye. Coming in here around the nose. And then down. Take the lighter color and blend. All right, and I'm going to get even darker back in here. And then up here. And kind of swing it around wipe, wipe, blend, blend, a little bit darker just in between where the teeth are, maybe a smidge darker there. Wipe, wipe, blend, 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 wipe, wipe, get a bit lighter, wipe, and I'm gonna blend. So I'm just doing a bunch of layering here and really coming in and blending to really kind of get that kind of bumpy look here. All right. A little highlight right there, going around. Okay, now I'm going to take that kind of medium-like color, come in up, whoop, above the eye, and kind of swooping around. Up here, turning my brush this way to follow the curves. And then I'm going to take the lighter color and blend and cover the rest. Blend, blend. Okay. I'm going to come in and do like I did for the teeth over here and just come in between each one. Come later. Blend, blend, blend. Blend, blend, blend. Some lighter. Wipe. Blend, blend, blend. Oops. All right, and then under here. Okay, now I'm gonna tackle over here. I did the temple, but I haven't done up here. So we're gonna come around almost like the edge. Make it a bit darker. Again, looking for that, you know, round look. To really make this look like it's popping off the canvas. And we'll come slightly lighter, blend around, and then we'll really come in with the lighter color. And we'll come around in between the flowers here. really get some coverage in. And we're going to start blending back and forth, just making that blended transition, that smooth, you know, rounded shading and color. To show that this has some depth here. And then I'm gonna come around the eye. I'm gonna switch to a little bit of a thinner brush here. I'm gonna lighten this up a bit so it matches the other side some. There we go. All right, I'm gonna come in with a thinner brush and do some shading, but first I need to fix a blip. As much of that water off as I can. And smooth that out. There was like a little hiccup or something. Okay, then I'm gonna come in with the darker here. And just for like the inside, I need it much darker than that. Just right on the inside where that eye socket, I guess, would be. If you're not being technical, I guess eye hole would be the word. There we go. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. A little bit of a shadow here. And then I'm going to come in a little bit of lighter color. And then just come in on the bottom here. And again, blend. I'm going to just fill in where I apparently didn't cover well with my paint. Okay. All right. I'm going to take a medium. Oops. Just going to try to blend a tiny bit on that. All right, so now the inside, oops, I need to do the chin. Okay, so we're gonna take that medium-ish color and darken it a bit over here. And then under here. And then really get into the dark over here. And then I'm going to take that lighter color and just come in and blend it blend it a bit. Darker in there. And then really come in with some lighter color right in here. And blend. All right. And we're going to come in with the dark again. Just along, oops, I need it darker. Just along the bottom edge. And we're going to wipe it off and kind of blend a bit. And I need to fix because I overcorrected. There we go, that's better. All right, so I think that's pretty good for the skull. I'm gonna come in and do all of the nose and the eye sockets. I'm gonna clean them up by doing some black in there. I know the background is black, but I just want to get any stray marks that I had painted in there to really clean it up. Or, you know, any chalk, instead of taking the time to erase it or use a brush to clean it up, I'll just go ahead and use my black paint here. Now the nose, you could definitely add more detail in there. I just, you know, I wanted this to be a quicker tutorial and you not to have to worry about too many details. Come in here and do the black along there. And then I'm going to take my thinner brush and kind of clean this up a smidge. All right. I think I need to blend down here a bit more. Get some of that lighter color and the darker color. And just blend a bit. All right, I think that's pretty good for right now. Okay, so So now we can come in and do the teeth, and I really want those teeth to be, you know, pretty stark. So I need a thinner brush. I'm gonna come in just pretty much with white. And I'm gonna come in and just fill those in. And as you've seen with me using white in the past, we'll probably have to do a couple layers, although the streakiness may be kind of cool with this, you never know. And we'll come in with some gray to kind of fill in for some of the backs of the teeth there. Make that one maybe a little grayer. All right. Okay. Same thing on the other side. I forgot a piece of the skull over here. We'll have to do that in a little bit. Okay, I'm going to take my liner brush and I'm just going to go around the teeth. This will kind of tie in a bit when we do the flowers. They'll have that kind of like outliney look to them. Okay. I'm going to take a little bit of this color and need it to be lighter. There. And maybe there. And then where this goes, where this separates, right here. And around, and then this side of it. And then along here. Perfect. Okay. So now I'm going to come in and do this little piece of skull here. And let that dry for a minute. Okay. All right. I'm going to come in, do a little bit darker here. Maybe even a touch more. And then come back in with the lighter. Wipe, wipe, wipe. Blend them together. All right. And then I'm going to come in with my liner brush again. And come in right on the edge. And then there we go. Okay, so now we have all our skull pieces connected. So I'm going to give this a second to really fully dry, and then we'll come back and we'll do all of the flowers. Okay, so now we're going to start doing our flowers, and this is really just going to be color blocking and then outlining. So we're going to do some flowers. I guess you could consider them kind of roses. I'm not sure. Just, it's what I had intended. So I'm just going to come in and just do some random-ish kind of shapes here. May have to do, you know, a couple coats. For these more transparent colors. Be careful once you're getting around your skull here. You don't want to undo all that hard work you put into it. Okay, now I think I'm going to make a little bit of an orange color. That's just the cadmium red or bright red and your cadmium or primary yellow. You don't have to use these colors. It's just what I chose. You could do purple. Purple would be beautiful. small little flowers down here. Let's do some yellow. So with the yellow, I'm going to cut back on the cadmium a tiny bit. It's really intense, so I'm going to add some white to it to kind of calm it down some. I think I'll do you don't have to limit yourself to where I put the flowers. You can put them really anywhere you want on the canvas. Okay. Maybe a couple more in here. Right, and I said I'd show you pink flowers. So I'm going to take a little bit of quinacridone magenta and some white, kind of like for the gnome's nose when we did our Gnomey Halloween, and just mix that. And we have some nice pink here. I know a lot of people think pink and red don't go together, but I think when it comes to flowers, you can really mix and have a blast. Okay, so I think I might come over here and do maybe a pinkish blobby rose thingy. Oops. Try to cover all the black space that we have there. All right. I'm gonna come back over and cover these again with a second coat. Okay, wipe that off, do my little orange color. My yellow color, oops. And now my pink. All right. All right, so I'm gonna let that dry while I talk about leaves here. So the leaves are various shades of green. To accomplish that, I am going to use the phthalo green and yellow. That's your typical leaf green. And then you can add more yellow, or if you want to do a darker leaf, you can add your burnt umber, dark brown, or whatever color you have on hand. And I'm going to take some of this here, add more yellow. So I'm going to be using these three colors, my regular leaf green, yellowy leaf green, and then the darker. So I'm going to start with the yellowy. I'm going to come in here and just do some stems here. Maybe a leaf. So leaves are pretty easy. They're pretty much just pushing your brush flat and then releasing the pressure as you get further away. Just doing some stems, maybe turn that one into a leaf there. Okay, where else do I want some yellowy? Maybe right here. Come in with some regular green here, and we'll do the same. Push and then release the pressure as you get further away. And then if it didn't make the point, you can just kind of force the point by painting it. Push, lift, and then paint the point. Push, lift, paint the point. I may do some little grasses here and there too. Just to try to fill in some more. All right, go with a little bit of a darker color now. For the bigger leaves, it's just painting in the shapes and filling it in. So just filling in, kind of randomly selecting the colors so that I don't have too much of one color in any one area. And just filling in wherever I can. And I made an oops and painted over some of my rows here. So I'm just going to take some clean water and just wipe that off. Okay. Maybe a nice dark one right here. Do some big ones over here. Not worrying too much about the edges because we are going to outline them. To make them more defined. In here with some yellow, maybe do some grasses, I think. Coming out, maybe. Okay, a couple more here. Maybe a couple here. Okay, do some leaves over here. And then I'm gonna call it a day with the leaves. Maybe get a big leaf coming off here. might have several different pieces to it. Okay. Do another one of those over here. Okay, and then I think I'm gonna do one more pink flower over here. Okay. Okay, so now we're at the last step here. We're gonna take our liner brush and we're just gonna draw, you know, get that inky consistency with the glazing medium and just come around and kind of outline our petals. Come through here. And I'm not looking for it to be exact here. We're just trying to get some sort of kind of division of petals. Lines here to dictate if it's a rose, and again, it does not, we're looking for that kind of fun, cartoony sort of vibe, so I'm not going crazy with it. Okay. Mess up, don't worry about it. We're just having a lot of fun. That's all that we're doing. I know I'm going a little fast here. I'm just trying to show you that you don't have to be super duper careful with this process. Okay. Some of them I'm letting the color go outside of the lines. I kind of like the way that looks. I forget what that's called, but there's some sort of design aspect where that people do that. Okay, so for the leaves, I'm coming in and doing the exact same thing. Not the grasses. The grasses are too thin to worry about this. We're just coming in with that really thin, inky black and just adding that little bit of definition. Be careful if you added grasses over. Ideally, I would have added the grasses last, but of course I was flying by the seat of my pants trying to decide what I was doing here, as always. And ended up Just going with what I felt like in that moment. Almost done, guys. Almost done. And if you don't like the outlines, don't do them. Change them, whatever you want. All right, there we have it. And I think I'm going to use pink because I have a lot left to sign my name. And now the big reveal. There you go. A beautiful skull with flowers.